Miss Marianne Noad is going to be with us here this evening. Marianne, have I got you with us?
Yes, you do. Hold on. Here
Fantastic. There,
I come. Hi.
there she is, the famous Marianne. We're so grateful to have you with us tonight. And we've got lots of people tuning in from all over the world. Let me take a look down in the chat. We've got lots from Canada, which is where you are from, Marianne. And we've got Mexico on here, Texas. Let's see, where else? Utah, of course. Alberta, Canada, Quebec, Florida, all over the world. They've tuned in tonight, Marianne, and we're super glad to have you here. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. I'm really excited for this. And I just want to tell you, Lori, how grateful I am that you invited me. I'm really honored. I've watched your Wellness Wednesdays, and you have some amazing people on sharing such, I mean, the information is top notch. So I feel really privileged to be here. Thank you.
Well, we're glad to have you. You know, you and I have become fast friends just in the past few weeks. But your reputation goes way back in the space of nutrition and small business and practitioner. And Marianne, if you would please just tell our viewers just a quick little background about you, and then we're going to jump in to this exciting information that we have to share with everybody.
Okay, well, I am a mother of three beautiful children and three gorgeous grandchildren. I currently live off the coast of Vancouver Island on a small island. It's a remote island. And I've spent most of my life learning about herbs and plants and natural medicine. It was how I was brought up. I'm a Métis woman, which is it's a nation of Indigenous people here. And so when I was being brought up by my family in near the Rocky Mountains, we didn't live totally off the land, but my father hunted, my mom grew, our food, big gardens. We had to weed the garden. That wasn't fun, but
Not fun.
I learned a little bit about gardens. But it was a very idyllic life, and my father did reflexology on us even back then. He, like if we got sick, I got like these mustard plasters on my chest. They were stinky, but they worked, all these things. So I
Wow.
grew up recognizing that if you could use these methods to heal the body, right? The body was, an amazing design. So anyways, I get into retail business for a number of years, and then I became a practitioner of natural medicine. I'm an herbalist, and a number of different things. But I
Awesome.
found that I got the biggest kick out of life was just helping people feel better, and so that's been my.
Sure. Awesome. Well, we're going to talk about a really exciting project, Marianne. It's been in development for about a year. It's been in development. I know you've been on the backside of that with that knowledge as well, that this has been in development and coming. I'm so excited that we are on the eve. We're launching one of our most amazing products just this coming weekend. It's happening on Saturday, and that is our Pure Cafe. It is a functional, healthy coffee that is going to be made available to our listeners, and we'll get more into that. But I've learned so much from you about nutrition, and I've also learned a lot about coffee, regular coffee. That I always tell people I'm a little bit of a coffee snob. I actually love coffee. And I will say I've been one of the ones to go through Tim Hortons, or I've been one of the ones to go through Starbucks, and until I learned some of the things I learned. And I will tell you, it makes you stop and think before you want to go through those drive-throughs. But let's talk about that, because coffee is not a new subject. In fact, it is the second most consumed beverage around the world, next to water. It is the second most consumed beverage. It's not new to our listeners who are watching in, but I think what might be new is perhaps maybe what's happening in our bodies when we're consuming that. I don't, my feet don't hit the ground till I have a cup of coffee. I have an amazing trained husband who brings me a cup of coffee every morning, and I'm so spoiled and I love that. But I think a lot of people are like that, like their day just doesn't get going without coffee. So let's talk about what are we doing to our bodies when we're consuming the coffee out there? Like what's happening, and if it's bad for us, why is it bad for us?
Well, thanks for asking these questions because people have been for decades, even in their life, been drinking coffee every morning, every morning. They wake up, usually they go to the bathroom. Some people brush their teeth, some don't. They go straight for the coffee. It's the first thing we do. They don't eat, they don't take their vitamins. Some people do coffee real quick or drinking it as they're going to a gym. I mean, there's that type of stuff. But what you're breaking a fast basically all night long. You haven't been up eating all night, hopefully. You wake up
Yeah.
and you're breaking a fast. So how would we breaking a fast? We're breaking a fast with something that has a very acidic nature to it. So you wake up and you take this coffee and you have one, maybe two, and you immediately knock off the pH balance of your body, right? You immediately create an environment where the acidity level rises. So just to put this into perspective, 1 cup of regular coffee,
Hello?
and is going to require approximately anywhere between 5 and 10 glasses of water to neutralize that acid. So if you have a fairly heavy acidic cup of coffee, and it varies, like Starbucks would be different, Tim Hortons would be different. But anyways, here you are. Who drinks 20 glasses of water, number one? So we're
Right.
creating an acidic environment. And so we knock off the pH, and people go, well, why does that matter? And I'm going to use a visual for people because I like to share this information so that they'll be able to explain it to others, or the next time they see an aquarium, they're going to think about what I said, or next time they drink their coffee. So we've all seen an aquarium where the pH level went off, and the water gets murky and it's kind of slimy, and you see like the fish start moving slower, oxygen levels are down, it's becoming acidic, okay? And so if we don't clean up that water in the
Yeah.
aquarium, they're gonna die, right? Okay, so I want you guys to know that we are aquariums on legs. We're 70% water, and the quality of our water matters. And the fish inside of us is our internal organs and everything else. And so here we are. I mean, basically, constantly being bathed in almost like battery acid. I'm not kidding you. Once you start to you rebalance that, beautiful things start to happen. Beautiful things.
Wow. This is going to be one of those things that you can't unknow, right? Like I have a feeling we're going to have a conversation here tonight that all of us are going to be like, we can't unhear what we're about to hear.
I'm
That's
going to ruin it for
incredible.
some people. I'm sorry, but in another way, I know
Great. No.
what's going to happen. I have, okay, so I'm going to tell you scary things first, and then I'm going to tell you really
Okay.
happy things. So we'll talk about the problem, but there's always solutions. There are no problems, there are only solutions. And luckily, Pure
Right.
Cafe has the most amazing solution for everyone. And extremely, so let's talk about dehydration. So it's going to require probably 2 to 3 cups of water just to get back the dehydration. So that's not even talking that we talked about the pH balance. So dehydration, what happens when our body is dehydrated is it can't communicate with each other, all the different things that it does. Cell-to-cell communication is based on water. So if you're dehydrated, your body cannot communicate, can't make that phone call, right? It's just like the lines are down, your cell signal's low. And so, what are some signs of dehydration? Okay, well, you're not the sharpest tool in the shed usually. You're foggy
Yeah.
brain, right? Can't focus, not awake, um, kind of like almost like a pasty mouth, um, constipation,
Mhm.
acidic stomach, joints that ache, right? You get achy joints because we need water. Everything, we need water. We need water. We need water. And I'm going to tell you something about there's another little quick thing is that when the body is looking for water, okay, the brain is about 87% water. And it's kind of the hierarchy of running the whole show. So when the brain is not getting the water, it starts looking all over and it'll start robbing it from other parts of your body. Now, normally if you're drinking the right water, this would not happen if you're drinking enough proper amounts of water. But if you're dehydrated, the body will go into the feces and extract the water that it can find there and shoot it up to your brain.
That's terrifying.
Okay, and start to circulate that type of water around you guys. And you know what? All joking, well, this is a lie. I have to say it. How many people with their thought processing that you meet some of these days, you know, you know that they need to drink more water. They know, you know where their water's coming from and going to their brain, right? And the doctor that trained me in this was Dr. Michael O'Brien, and he was a colorful Irishman, and he used to have some pretty colorful sayings about, you know, what these people really were and all this stuff, not knowing. And so, you know, when you start to drink more water, the body starts to respond. And so now it can communicate and you'll feel better. I mean, sometimes people are eating because they're so dehydrated. The first sign of dehydration is lack of thirst. So all of you people right now, I know what's happening because I've done this so many times. Now I'm
Yeah.
just saying this, and now there's probably about 4 or 5 people, maybe more, getting up and going to get a glass of water because they're suddenly we're talking about it. They want water, and they realize,
Yeah.
right, that they're dehydrated. So and do that. And you know the thing is that if you use any type of herbs or you're wanting to you know, cleanse. A lot of us use different things, you know, to assist the body because our, you know, let's admit it, our food's weaponized. You have to be careful what you're putting in your body. But, you know, here we have like beautiful herbs that are, you know, detoxifying the body, but we're not flushing the inner toilet. So I don't know
Mm,
about your toilet, Lori, but my toilet at my house, it doesn't flush unless there's water. Well, you have an inner
yeah.
toilet, and if you're not putting enough water in, you know, milk and pop and energy drinks and whatever. I don't like to drink water. You better learn to drink water, is what I'm gonna say. It will change your life. And so getting hydrated is important, and regular coffee dehydrates you a lot.
That's
Mhm.
incredible. So let's jump into Pure Cafe because
Okay.
it's like I said, so exciting and it's launching this Saturday. You've had a lot of experience with what I will call functional coffee. So let's start with what is functional coffee, and then let's dive into what makes Pure Cafe so spectacular.
Well, functional coffee is a brilliant concept, a brilliant concept. And that's when we infuse something into the coffee so that when we drink it, we're actually doing our body a favor now. And because coffee would be the perfect delivery system, because nobody forgets to drink coffee. They'll forget their vitamins, they'll forget their birth control pills. I've heard it all. I've seen babies come because they'd forgotten, but they had their coffee, right? So doesn't that make sense? As a practitioner, I was always like, oh, you got to remember to take and drink your teas, and we got the herbs, and we got this and that. And I was constantly trying to get people off coffee. And guess what? Behind the scenes, I was sneaking coffee because I loved it too, right? So when I heard about functional coffee, that concept came and I became aware of it. I was like, oh my God, this is so brilliant. Because it's the most, it makes sense. What a delivery system, right? Every day you have your coffee, every time you have 1, 2, 3, 4 cups of coffee, whatever, you are now putting something in that is going to help your body to function, to work, to wake up the systems. Now, most of the time, what we're seeing is adaptogenic herbs being used in or mushrooms, right? In functional coffee. Although some people are calling um, turmeric functional coffee. They add or MCT oil, which is a form of oil from the uh, oh sorry, how come I can't think of it right now? coconut oil. Okay, and so that really lights up your brain. So when they add that, they're calling it functional coffee. We have like real functional coffee. Okay, so adaptogen. What's an adaptogenic herb or mushroom or plant? It is something that helps your body to adapt to stress. It says it exactly. It's an adaptogenic, and it helps the body to rebalance itself because stress throws us off so bad. And we're all, their stress can come in many ways, right? It could be job, could be work, could be going to school. I mean, there's many ways. Our children sometimes, they're under stress. So it's a beautiful system. And then I mean, like, and that's just, we're just starting to talk about what's possible. So everything that
Right.
I talked about before, okay, I didn't talk about the fact that coffee constricts the blood vessels, right? So now it lowers your regular coffee. It lowers your oxygen levels. It's harder for your heart to push the blood through, right? And so it actually impedes circulation. And anytime we impede circulation in our body, we're doing it a great disservice, right? Because blood feeds us. Blood is life. As soon as you don't have blood going to certain parts of your body, it'll start to lose its vitality, right? Mm.
Right. Now, the Pure Cafe is infused with what I would call the king of the mushroom world, and that is cordyceps.
Mhm.
What's so unique about this, when I first learned about the opportunity of being able to put cordyceps inside a coffee, of course, my first thought was, oh my gosh, that's going to taste awful because cordyceps are very bitter. I mean, they're like something when you take it, you take it, and you've known you've taken it for a long time after you've taken it, right? It's one of those bitter things. And so I remember having a conversation as this was being put together, just thinking, oh my gosh, can we do this? Because if we can do this, this will be absolutely phenomenal. There's so many studies that have been done on cordyceps, but yet not a lot of people really know what it does. So let's jump into that. Let's just talk in lay terms, Marianne.
Okay.
Why cordyceps? What makes it the king of the hill, so to speak? And why is that so important?
I've been working with what they call functional mushrooms or medicinal mushrooms, some people call it. Well, and every one of them has something unique in it. And I've been working with a variety of mushrooms now, fungi. I like to hang out with the fungis. Just to
Right.
throw that in. I know, I know, I'm just being silly. But anyways, if you're gonna hang out with guys, let's hang out with fungi. So anyways,
That's right. That.
So I know them I know them well, right? And some are very unique in what they do and amazing, every one of them. But there's something about cordyceps that is so all-encompassing. And for the last number of years, I've been working a lot with that mushroom. And it's the Chinese have been using it for thousands of years in their Chinese traditional medicine. And so they have a long history, and it does just so many things. So to me, and we can talk about some of these things, but everything that I said that was wrong with regular coffee is exactly the opposite. That when we infuse, right? When we infuse this mushroom tastelessly, they found a way. The people who do this have top technology, and it is patented. Nobody's going to taste this. Trust me, you do not taste this. But I'll tell you
Yeah.
what, you're going to feel it. To the moon, Alice. It is unbelievable. And so this mushroom, because it does so many things for the body, it supports it in so many ways. You're going to be able to have results. Everybody's going to have results. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. There would be such a small percentage of people who would feel nothing. Number one, it has alkaloids in it, which is going to help to mitigate the acidic nature of the coffee, right? So it's going to lower the acid. Now it depends what your water you're using too. So let's keep that. So it's not like we can go, well, 7.2 on the pH scale. We can't say that, which is neutral. But we cannot say that. But what I do know, I'll say as a practitioner working with fungi for as many years as I have, over 20 years, 24 years, wow, that's a long time. Is that I used to say 20, and now, then 3, 4 years go by, and I'm like, oh no, I gotta
Yeah,
add more years on.
20 anymore.
I do know that everybody's body is unique. It will signal if you'll listen. If you listen, if you're aware of your body, and even if you're not, you're going to start to notice some different things. You're going to notice better sleeps. You're going to notice that the mental clarity and focus that you get from like the snap of the caffeine is going to be like way different. It's going to be a different snap. You're going to notice that the blood roller coaster that regular coffee creates, so that, in about 2 hours you crash. With Live Pure coffee, you're not going to. Pure Cafe is going to sustain you. It helps to balance your blood sugar. So that's a good thing, right? And you're going to notice that maybe halfway through the afternoon, when you have that crash or you want something sweet, you could get through it. A lot of times, what I'm seeing is people, they just want another one of these coffees, but they can only usually drink 2, maybe 3 in a row, no more than that. And then a few hours can go by, but it's very sustaining and satisfying. I know a lot of people who are appetite, they're not eating as much, they're sleeping better. They're working later into the evening. They're not feeling like, oh my God, I have to have a nap.
Mhm.
I mean, just all of these things. It improves circulation. I am really, really big on this. It helps to fuel your ATP. ATP is an energy molecule, right? And it's in all our cells. And so for especially athletes, when they're doing very high intensity exercising, the cordyceps is amazing for raising the ATP, so that the endurance is improved dramatically for
Wow.
everybody, right? And especially athletes. Yeah, especially athletes. I can go on. There's oh, what can I say? Oh, this is really something that's talked about a lot. If you guys go online, you're going to see it, and I'm going to talk about it, okay? Because I talk about everything.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Let's talk about it.
Okay. It's used as an aphrodisiac. So it's very, and when you start reading about, and the Chinese honor that, that it creates that kind of energy in the body. So it increases the desire and the performance. Again, there's some stamina. There's also, when we start to rebalance the body and the body starts to do what it's supposed to do, it can also help the hormonal issues in some people.
Mm,
So there's a lot of
interesting.
stuff, and I do recommend to go online and do your due diligence, because I'm not even scratching the scratch. Okay.
Yeah.
I love that it's a tonic for the kidneys. Really super important, really important. Many, many things. So if I was to pick a mushroom out of all my fungi, it would definitely be cordyceps. So here we are. This is like a perfect match, a
It's
beautiful match,
incredible.
and organic, and also organic coffee. And then
Yeah.
this is what I love the most. And I have to like, oh, I love this so much, you guys, is that it's infused together, and we don't know how. It's a patented process, but we know that there's about 150 milligrams of caffeine in our coffee, and we have 2 varieties. We have a black bold, and we have a decadent latte cream caramel. I mean, just saying,
Yeah.
right? Latte cream caramel, right there. I mean, you have me right there. Although I am a black coffee drinker. So, what they've done, and this is brilliant, is they've been able to pre-brew this gourmet, flavorful coffee that you cannot taste this fungi in, and they've dried it, and then they put it in these convenient little sachets. And you add 4 to 6 ounces of hot water. You open it, and you add your hot water, and it's like it's like instant. Everybody goes, oh, it's instant coffee, and immediately they think it's gonna taste like I don't know what.
You
I
know
don't.
what, Marianne?
It
It
tastes like
smells
instant perfection. Hmm.
it smells like a brewed cup of coffee. And I know probably all of our watchers, or at least there may be a couple in here that have had an opportunity to taste it, because we're just launching it. It's just now coming into the market, but I have had the opportunity of tasting it. And I can remember pouring the hot water in, and when it activated, it smelled like a fresh brewed cup of coffee. I was stunned.
And how did it taste?
It was amazing. It was amazing. And
Were
I will
you
tell you,
surprised? Were you surprised? Because seriously,
I was so
most people, when
surprised.
they, yeah, yeah, like they take a sip and they're like, and you know what a lot of them would say is like, it tastes like coffee. Because it is
Yeah.
coffee. It's not chicory
Yeah.
and up dirt and twigs and all that stuff that's pretending to be coffee that we think is healthy,
Right.
which nobody can tolerate the taste of it. It's
Right.
beautiful gourmet coffee.
For sure. You know what I think is so amazing too is that there are lots of what I'll call functional coffees in the
Mhm.
marketplace. Certainly within the last 5 years, they've become more and more prevalent. But they don't have cordyceps. At least I haven't been able to find another one with cordyceps, because it truly is. We thought it was an impossibility that we could make this coffee with cordyceps in it, because it just is so difficult from the taste standpoint. And so I was completely shocked at how good it tasted. The other thing I love, I just want everybody who's watching in here, whether you're here tonight or you watch this on the replay, I want you to stop and think about something. You probably have your setup at home where you make that yummy cup of coffee right now, right? I will tell you, for me, I made a purchase on an espresso machine, and I spent a lot of money on the Nespresso. I spend about $35-40 a month for the little pods. You have to order them from a special place, and I love that, and it tastes great. Although I will tell you that I do, if I don't eat something fairly quickly after I drink that coffee, within a couple of hours, I have an upset stomach. And that's the acid, right? But here's the thing: whenever we travel, if we go, go on vacation, or we go even to a family member's house, or we go out to a restaurant, like I never order coffee out because I don't like the taste of it. And I can't take my Nespresso with me on vacation, right? To make that cup of coffee. So I go without. I don't get it. What I'm so excited about is that these little sachets go with me. And now I can take it everywhere that I go. And the price point, I'm going to
Yeah.
save money. I'm going to save money than what I'm spending right now. And I don't have to have a fancy machine. And when it breaks, replace it with another fancy machine. And I'm just so excited about that. And the way that our program works, Marianne, as you know, our customer program, is our company actually gives us rewards if we continue to make that purchase every single month. So by the time it's all said and done, this is going to cost, I'm going to save $10 a month. That's $120 a year if I was just buying
And they
one.
get it for wholesale. And the customers can buy it for wholesale. And okay, this gets me super excited. They don't have to pay a membership fee to shop with Live Pure in our Pure Cafe. None of that. None of
No,
that. It's
none of that.
like it's beautiful. It's like customer appreciation. And to me, my businesses in the past, in this industry and other industries, I focus totally on customers. And customers are the foundation of, they're the lifeblood of your business. We should be honoring customers and showing our gratitude to them for coming to shop with us. And Live Pure is so respectful to their customers and created this amazing customer rewards program. And that, to me, like right there, that shows me class, that shows me so much, because a lot of these companies, and I'm just going to say, I mean, everybody do what they want. I'm not putting anybody down. I'm just saying that I don't think that customers should have to pay a fee to come and shop at your, at your store with your business. And one thing, Lori, I just want to bring to everybody else's attention because I want to scare them a little bit more. And it's not that I want to scare them, but I really do want people to know
Be
better.
scared. If you're scared, type scared in the chat. Go ahead, Marianne.
I'm
I'm
going to
just
bring
teasing you.
awareness that when you go to a gourmet coffee house and you order a coffee and they give you a coffee in a cardboard cup, that cardboard cup, first of all, it's more of it's a very strengthened cardboard, but the lining of that cup has some sort of a plastic barrier because if it didn't, the water would seep through and your cup would fall apart before you even finished you know. So I want you to know that there's a plastic lining that you don't see in the cup. As soon as they add that water, it starts to melt. And now you're not only having a cup of acidic coffee, I'm just going to say it, acidic coffee, you're also having a coffee that's, you know, one of the condiments in your coffee is melted plastic. Think about that. So with these sachets, you bring your own cup along. We all see them. We all got one in our car. And so, you know, bring your own cup, your own sachet. And you know what? Sometimes I have paid for hot water and I will gladly pay. They don't usually charge me the same as a coffee. But most times,
Right.
you know, the person will just say, whatever, like give me the hot water. But you can take it to restaurants. You can take it on holidays. You take it with you all the time. And I actually share mine with other people because they'll see me making it and then they're like, well, what are you drinking? Oh, I'm drinking my special brew, right? So there you go, right? I just thought I'd throw that in.
That's awesome. I'm going to look in the chat, Marianne, and see if we have any questions from any
Yeah.
of our listeners right now. And for those of you that have joined maybe late and didn't hear this, if you will drop your name and say hello in the chat, we're going to be giving away some product. Now, our product launches on Saturday. So be a little bit patient as I get it in, and then I'll be able to ship it out to you. But you should see it within about a week from Saturday. So I'm super excited about that. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in here. Somebody was asking about, is there an issue if you're on a blood thinner at drinking coffee? And specifically this coffee.
Okay.
What would you say
So
about
anytime you're on medication, it's your responsibility to look for any contraindications that you could have with certain herbs. Now, I do know that cordyceps does have a slight, it's not huge, but it does have a slight blood thinning agent to it. So that might be something that you would want to talk to with your healthcare practitioner. And I also want to add, and I was usually say this first thing, is that anything that I've said tonight has not intended to diagnose or prescribe or anything like that. This is just my opinion. And even, you know, the company didn't ask me to say any of that. So, you know, this is my opinion as a practitioner and dealing with these herbs for, you know, over 2 decades. So I would say you need to be aware of that. And that's a great question.
that? Okay. What
So
would you
I'm
say to?
gonna take it one step further. I've had this before.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
I had a nurse, a registered nurse, who was on 7 medications. This was, you know, 4 or 5 years ago. And because she's registered nurse, she knew how to bring herself off of meds. Don't ever attempt to bring your own medication down. You always go to your healthcare professional. And if they prescribed it and you'll say number one. But what she did was she said to me, this is what I'm going to do. And I used to have an online radio show. It was actually a blog talk. We talked health a lot. And she said, this is one of her stories. She said, I'm going to use the mushroom and I'm going to actually just a little bit. I'm going to just try, you know, a little bit. And then I'm going to, after a week, I'm going to go to my doctor and I'm not telling him what I'm doing. And I was like, okay. And she said, then I'm going to have my blood levels checked. So she did. And he said, oh, well, we don't need as much blood thinner. Okay, now I'm not saying
Interesting.
you guys, I'm just telling you a story. Okay, do what
Yeah.
you want. Okay, so
Yeah.
he said, I'll lower your blood thinner. I think it was heparin or something she was on. So he did, and then she kept using it. And for her, with her body, she was able to correct it over a period of time and manage it strictly using that. And she did check her blood once a month, though, just to make sure. And she was so proud of the fact that she had used I'm going to call it my magic mushroom to to achieve this goal of hers. And because she said, I just don't want to be on that anymore. So anyways, that's one story for you.
That's a great story. That's a great story. We had somebody else drop in here, so I'll go ahead and address it quick on somebody if they were allergic to mushrooms, and I'll go ahead and answer
Okay.
that. If you have a known allergy to mushrooms, then this wouldn't be the product for you, right? Again, that's something you need to talk to your own practitioner about. Listen, guys, this is an absolutely incredible coffee. I've tasted it. I will tell you, it is phenomenal. But you want to know what the best part of all this is that there's a 30-day money back guarantee also from Live Pure. And I have
Wow.
never seen that before where
I didn't
for
know
our
that. I just found that out. I just found that
well,
out.
there
That's
you go.
fantastic.
There's a 30-day money back guarantee on opened product, and there is a 90-day money back guarantee on unopened product. So, really, you can't buy something at the grocery store. I'll tell you a funny story. I went to the grocery store and I bought some milk, and it was almond milk, and I actually bought the wrong, it was flavored or with like vanilla or something, and I wanted the non-flavored. I didn't want any sugar in it, and I grabbed the wrong carton. And I went back to the grocery store to exchange it that same day, like within an hour, that same day, in the same bag with all of it put together, and they wouldn't take it back because they can't take it back. Live Pure is going to take back a product that you open, use, try, and if for whatever reason you make a decision that you don't like it, it's 100% money back guarantee. It's incredible.
And you know what? Going to the health food store and buying anything, you can't take that back either. I've seen that. One thing, Lori, I really want to impress on people is that when you buy a box or two of this amazing product, because I really hope that this talk has motivated you to try something different. Okay, give your body. Come on, guys, let's do something for the body. The attack that our body's under. Wow, your body's
Yeah.
going to thank you. So do not drink regular coffee when you are consuming this product. And I want you to stop. And before you drink your very first cup, I want you, and maybe every cup after that for that time, I want you to stop, and on a scale of 1 to 10, I want you to take a check on where your energy is. Are you feeling like you had a rough sleep? You're just kind of like, and you're kind of a little groggy. Are you not too bad? Are you at a 7 or more like a 3 as far as energy goes? Then drink this product. Now, remember that when we're drinking liquid like that, and it hits our mouth, through the membranes of our mouth, we have we'll have a delivery system into the bloodstream, right? So you could feel, and many people have felt the benefits within a few minutes, an hour. The day was different. They never put two and two together. Oh, they were happier. Oh, whatever. Because nobody's in their body anymore. They're in their head. They're out here. They're on their phones, whatever. Get back into your body. And your body's going to tell you how much it likes it. It's going to tell you, you're going to tell by your sleeps, by how you're feeling, how much you're eating, all of these things. And if you get thirsty, if you're thirsty and you go, this coffee makes me thirsty, it's because the thirst reflex has woke up and the toilet wants to be flushed. Okay, so drink the water, flush the toilet, and just be
Oh
aware.
my gosh, I'm
Okay?
getting a visual.
But do be aware of that. And you know what? If you have a headache every day at about 3, all the things that bother you before you start the coffee, make a list. And then in about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, if you could do a month, I'll tell you what, you're gonna feel so different, you guys, so different. I'm excited
That
for the
brings up a really good point because, oftentimes people are like, well, can I have a sachet so I can try it? And the answer is, of course you can. But here's the truth. if you just make the decision to try this coffee for a couple of weeks, for a month, you know when you're really going to notice the difference? When you go back to the other coffee
The
that you were
acidic
drinking
coffee.
before. Right. Because, like Marianne's saying, if you're not really in touch with what's happening, you're going to get in touch with it quick because you're going to recognize how you feel so different. Have you ever just stopped and think about that? Like, you don't notice necessarily when you feel great, but you really notice it when you feel yucky. And you're going to notice that. So, our box of coffee is $28.95. It's absolutely incredible. It comes in black bold, which you can add whatever creamer or what sweetener that you want to add to it. Or we have this delicious caramel latte that is 20 servings in a box for $28.95. It does pre-launch on Saturday, February 10th. So if you're watching this after February 10th here inside the group, I would just encourage you to get back with the brand partner who invited you here and see if they got their hands on some. If you're a brand partner, my encouragement would be that you get your hands on some of this coffee, buy those packs of coffee, and make sure you have them for your potential customers, because it's going to be about 30 days, Marianne, from the time that we pre-launch till we have it inside of our back office, our store, so to speak, right, to be able to purchase it for our customers. So I just wanted to put that out there because there's going to be
I have a question,
folks that
Lori.
watch
How
us.
many how many cups are in a box of black and how many cups are in a box of latte? Because I think people would
So
want
there are 30 cups inside the box of black, and there are 20 cups inside the box of latte. And the reason for that, Marianne, is because the sachet is a little bit bigger, right? Because it has more
yeah.
ingredients in it. So 30 inside of a box of black and 20 inside of a box of latte.
So
I've
really
just
it's
been,
about $1 a cup. And I'm
yeah,
here to tell you that if you bought organic coffee separately and organic cordyceps and took, we're drinking your coffee and taking your cordyceps, I'm here to tell you it would cost a lot more than $1 a cup. And you think about what you're paying every day, you are going to save money and be healthier. And that gets me so excited. That's exciting.
absolutely. Absolutely. We are going to impact so many people's lives. And honestly, I mean, how many of you agree with me that we can't be thinking about not flushing our own toilet, right? Or the fish tank scenario. I mean, I will never get I can't unhear that. So I appreciate you sharing that with us, Marianne. We're going to give away some product.
Okay.
I'm the first part of next week. And so I want to get it in the hands of some of our guests that are here with us tonight. So I'm going to give away 2 boxes of product. You get to choose whether or not it's black or latte. And if I draw your name, if you please will just instant message me. Again, my name is Lori Anderson. Instant message me with your information, your mailing address and whatnot, and I'll get that off to you. In the meantime, too, if you have any other questions before we wrap up, then please drop them in the chat. Well, Marianne, here's a question I'll go ahead and ask while I do the drawing here. Is the coffee in powder form or grind? I think you covered this earlier in the call, but why don't you go ahead and answer that again?
It's in a very fine powder form. And so it dissolves beautifully. You're not getting any big chunky, whatever. And like again, it is instant perfection. Seriously, you guys. So it mixes up really great. And remember to add between 4 and 6 ounces of water. Some people, if you're used to a big cup and you add too much water right away, you might not like that. So this is read the directions on the box, and this is again organic coffee, and it is organic cordyceps. So that's that's pretty good. You know what? Organic coffee, you guys, it's usually really super expensive. At least up in Canada. Well, everything's expensive in Canada. But
it is super expensive down here. I mean, think about it. I know Tim Hortons is the main coffee place up in Canada. Starbucks is the main, place down here in the US. But you can't go through a Starbucks drive-through without spending $6, $7 for a coffee. So for less than $1 a cup. And listen, if you don't know what's inside a Starbucks coffee, I'm so sorry, Starbucks, forgive me. It's pretty terrifying when you find out what's inside that coffee. Okay, so let's give away some product. The first winner is Mandy Finch. Mandy, congratulations. I'm super excited for you. I've not had an opportunity to meet you, so glad that you are one of our winners. Just drop a message to me or you can drop it in here. You don't want to put your address in the chat, but drop a message to me privately what your address is, and we'll get that off. Either a choice of black or a choice of latte. And the next winner is Heidi Bernard. Heidi, congratulations. I'm super excited for you both.
Congratulations to both of them. And Lori, how incredibly generous of you to do this. I love that generosity of giving. So thank you. That's amazing.
It's been so fun spending some time with you. I'm sure that we're going to do this again in the future on either more extenuating information on the Pure Cafe or some of the other amazing products that Live Pure has. They have over 80 other products, and the foundational principle of Live Pure is that they create pure, good for you products. So for those of you that are watching, if you haven't had an opportunity to take a look at all of the offering that Live Pure has, I encourage you to do that. You can also look down here in the chat and see many of the Wellness Wednesday calls that we have done in the past, talking with experts about the different products that Live Pure offers. Marianne, it's been a pleasure. I'm so looking forward to this journey with you. I appreciate everything you've taught me so far. And I can't wait to actually meet you in person and give you a big hug. I just love you so much. And
I hear this
appreciate it.
vicious rumor that you might be coming up to Canada maybe sometime. So I look forward to that. I'm going to work hard for that. Anyways, Lori, thank you. I felt very privileged and honored to be invited because I had already been watching your Wellness Wednesday episodes, and I'll tell you what, I highly recommend to everybody on here, go listen to some of this information. It again is life-changing. So thank you again.
Thank you as well. Have a great night, Marianne. Good night, everybody.